here we are at Triumph to a special testing day, and I've got myself a speed twin here to have a go on. So I've got half an hour and then I'm trying a Thruxton, which is quite exciting. I like these testing days, so it's not so much pressure it feels to buy, because it's not a private appointment, it's just turn up and register, which I've managed to do, mostly in French. Okay, so what does this feel like? That foot peg feels like it's sticking out and hitting my leg a bit. It feels compact. It feels like I don't want my wallet in my pocket. Sort that out. So, we're on. It's quite meaty. The Vance and Hines pipes, I think. In neutral. It feels very planted. Slow speed feels quite easy. First time I've had bar end mirrors, so it'll be interesting to know what that's like. This is certainly a torque monster. It's just pulling, bub bub bub, pull pull pull. I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm quite so nervous, but I am a bit nervous. Now the indicator switch feels a bit high, and the clocks, I can't immediately see what speed I'm doing, but it's not digital, it's analog, and they're quite reflective, so that's a bit weird, especially for Switzerland where you really need to keep an eye on your speed. Very different character to my engine, it feels very lazy. But it's a very comfortable riding position. If it's a bit strange where my knees are, this is sort of a little... Oh, I hope it doesn't rain. It was good weather earlier. Yeah, it feels twinny. It's just bub bub bub. It doesn't even matter if you're in the wrong gear. It's going to pull you around the roundabout. Very lazy engine. But it flipping pulls. Whoa, it really pulls. No wind protection whatsoever, but it feels fun. Brakes, I don't know, could be better. Not terrible. Oh, I've just gone the wrong way, I think. Nice bit of popping on the exhaust. Let's see if I can turn around and just go back before I end up all the way in Cossonay. Town is about that sort of speed, so that's third gear, I think. Is there a gear indicator? Yes, there is. It's not quite not particularly easy to read. I wish that was sort of tilted a bit more towards me, not reflecting so much. We're at the speed limit already. It really is just sort of stay in one gear and blast around kind of bike. Oh, it feels like it wants to pull your arms off at those revs. Did I actually want to come this way? I'm not sure. Bit of a shortcut perhaps. Well, nimble. Just not quite sure whether the brakes and suspension are good enough to get out of trouble, kind of thing. That burble's nice. Well, I don't normally do bike reviews, so apologies if this is not quite on a par with 44 Teeth or the Missenden Flyer. But hey, I thought I might as well make a video, given that I've got the kit and getting the opportunity to do this test. Don't think I've ever been through this village before, it's quite nice. Mustn't lose track of the time. But yeah, slow speeds, this is comfortable, stable, the engine doesn't want to stall all the time, it's nice. Not too sure about the seat. There's probably more luxurious options. Engine's perfectly happy going down this gradient. Yeah, my legs, there's no sort of nice cavity for your legs to sit into. Sort of rubbing against the frame a bit, that's not so great. It will be interesting to compare and contrast with the Thruxton, especially if it's got better suspension and brakes, but a supposedly less comfortable riding position. But this is enjoyable, it doesn't persuade you that you need to scream the engine round the corner. Yeah, flipping pulls when it wants. Blimey. Running out of revs a little bit there, I think. It's fine. And then you need to change. I'm doing that a bit like the V-twin. Pop, 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 burbling roundabouts without, in quite a high gear. So yeah, my bike has got more bite on the brakes, that's for sure. It feels pretty planted. It's a bit vibey in the bars. Not unpleasant. not bad, that bad. Maybe a tad more than my triple. Yeah, the only thing that would make me hesitate to buy this bike is how the frame and tank transition seems to be digging in. Oh, that was changing down too far. Oops, that's neutral. Have I had this bike out of third gear? That's fourth. Not had it out of fourth, I don't think. Right, no sliders, so no knee down. Not that I've ever managed it. But let's just see how being a bit more aggressive feels. Perfectly planted. I was far too cautious there because I'm not familiar, but yeah, perfectly planted. Maybe I'm just sitting on it in the wrong position, but that cramps my... I move my bum back, I get to grip the tank a bit better without it digging into my thighs, but now that's given me a more acute angle. Just going to go this way. A little bit of a twisty. And you need to change up, yeah, just another screaming top end. In that sense, the torque's nice, but it's not so enjoyable for sound and high revs. Oh, it's nicely planted though. Street triple's difficult to beat. It's a different beast, this. It's fun. I like it. Would I swap one for the other? I'm not sure I would. I doubt this would really perform on track. I'm not sure how important that is to me. That's the thing. Lausanne and the lake. Priority to the right here, so I have to be careful. Oh, in second gear, let's just see if we can stay in second. I'm sure we can. It's getting a bit warm around my legs now as well. And my bottom getting a bit toasty. You can burble around in third gear at 30 kilometers an hour limit. Barely at tick over. Yeah, it doesn't have that sort of sporty cutout to put your knees, and I don't really know where my knees and my thighs want to go. That's the biggest problem that I've got. But I look damn cool though, especially with this leather jacket. Interesting car here. Take the Lambo. Aston. Is it? Maybe. Everyone's out enjoying their vehicles today. Come on. Yes, it's definitely getting a bit hot next to my leg. easy enough to pull away from every one of the lights with that torque. It does feel it runs out of steam a bit with the revs, because I'm used to a bike that revs higher now. Very planted at lean though. That's neutral again, not good on a new bike. I'd say it was pretty well behaved for around town, apart from the heat coming off it. Bonjour.
Ouais, c'est là.
Ici?
On va la tourner. C'est là.
Oh.
C'est pas grave. Ça a été?
Oui, c'est très intéressant. Maintenant, j'ai j'ai le Street Triple 675. Okay. C'est différent, le moteur, hein, le torque, très intéressant ici.
Ah,
Mais,
ouais.